All right, guys, and welcome back. We're going to show Radioactive versus Zeros to Heroes. This is going to be our quarterfinal match. Winner of this gets a chance to go to the semifinals and play for a spot, not only in the finals, but also in the WTS qualifier coming up here on February 7th. So let's go ahead and jump right into the server, and I will take us away with the red team's builds here in just one moment. Looking at the red team, they are Zeros to Heroes, and right now they are running with a Thief. Thief is running with a Zerker's Amulet, Rune of the Ogre, Dagger Pistol, Short Bow, and he's running with the traits 26006. Then we've got Brian Peppers. He's running a Necro. The Necro is running with the Carrion's Amulet, Nightmare Runes, going with the Staff, Scepter, and Dagger, and he's running with the traits 06404. Then we also have UB Next is on his Warrior, running with an interesting build here. He's going with Celestial Amulet, Soldiers, going with the Sword, Warhorn, Longbow. So it looks like a standard Shout Warrior, but he's chosen to put 1 point in Strength, so he's running with 10463, running with that just extra 1 point for the damage on dodge roll. Then we have an Elementalist for the red team running with the traits 4064, running with all Signets and the Fiery Greatsword as well, going with the Dagger Focus, Rune of the Balthazar, and the Celestial Amulet. Interesting build there as well, 40640. Then we have Drunk Possum running on a Warrior, going with the Hambo traits, Soldier's Amulet, Holbrook Rune, Hammer, Longbow, and running with the traits 00626, all stances down at the bottom for his utilities. And then last but not least, I did already go over there, Thief. He's running that Dagger Pistol Zerker build, focusing in on Trickery. So going ahead and pass it over to Christian. Christian, go ahead and take us through Radioactive's builds.
All right, looking first over here at Crisis. Crisis is going to be running a pretty atypical build here. Not used to seeing this. Maybe a little bit of a troll, or I don't know. He's going to be running Sword, Warhorn, Hammer. He's going to be running Soldier Amulet. He's got Mercy Runes right now. He's going to be running the trait setup 00644. He's actually running Frenzy right now. This could potentially be amazing, or it could be a troll. I have no idea. Frenzy, potentially for the Mercy synergy, he could get a quick res. He could get a quick stomp. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes.
He's definitely going as a kind of focusing in on res, trying to get quick reses for his team. That's what Radioactive is all about, a nice bruiser comp that tries to get as many instant reses and quick reses as they possibly can. It's something that they were kind of known for back in TOG and 2L2 with us. So go ahead and take it away.
Trickshotting is going to be running a Rifle Celestial NG build. He's got Rune of Holbrack, the trait setup being 60044. Next up, we've got Guard. He's on his Warrior today. He's going to be running Sword, Warhorn, Longbow. He's going to be running a Shouts build today with Rune of the Soldier and Celestial Amulet, the traits being 10463. So exactly what we saw UB Next running, I believe so. Next up, we've got Overpowered Necro. He's going to be running a Well build today. He's going to be running Axe, Warhorn, Dagger. He's got Rune of the Pack, Berserker Amulet, and the trait being pretty standard for Wells, 62006. A lot of damage coming out from that. They're going to have to look out for all the damage that will provide, as well as the immob from that Dagger, locking them down into the Wells. Those team fights are going to be really tough to get past. Looking now at Rip, the Necromancer, he's going to be running the same thing. He's got Dagger Warhorn out. He's got Axe Dagger on the swap. He's running Rune of the Pack, Berserker Amulet, and he's running the same trait setup of 62006. They opted for Spectral Armor over the Spectral Walk, but they still have those two big damage wells right there.
All right, so two just sort of non-meta comps being seen here, at least some parts of their comps being non-meta, some more unique builds being run by these teams. Going to be interesting to see how they handle it. Radioactive kind of running with stuff that I've seen them run before, so they're very comfortable with this comp. Let's go ahead and see how it works out for them in this match. So just waiting for one more member of the Team Radioactive to ready up here. Then we'll get this match underway. It is going to take place on the Forest, and then for the second match, we'll go to Legacy, and then finally, if there is a third, we will go to Battle of Kylo. So both teams are readied up. Let's go ahead and see how they split. Not a lot of mobility coming out from Team Radioactive, specifically with their Necros. They're not exactly the fastest class in the game, so I don't anticipate too much far pushing coming out from this comp. It's really a 2-point comp, looking at it, focusing on winning that team fight at mid and possibly also a big team fight on their close node if they have to. This is a team that likes to stick together, get those quick reses off for those Necros especially, and let those Necros just sort of roll with that kind of damage. Two members of Zeros to Heroes have pushed into far. The engineer for Radioactive was there to intercept them, so they are going to back off and now push into mid, sort of kind of forced Radioactive to overcommit there. They drew 3 players towards the henge mode and then turned around, or henge node, and then turned around and went right into keep. But there comes the Lich form from Overpowered, going right onto Brian Peppers. Brian Peppers popping his Death Shroud to eat most of that damage. Overpowered's kind of forced to get out of the Lich form as he is going very low into the downstate there from the Hammer Warrior, bringing him into the downstate there and getting the quick stomp. That's huge for Zeros to Heroes in this team fight, as that's a lot of damage taken off the plate for Team Radioactive. This fight now looking in favor of Zeros to Heroes if they can just keep this momentum up here.
Yeah, Brian Peppers, as we can see on the stream, is getting trained a lot, but it's causing Team Radioactive to get out of position a lot, but the banner comes out, sorry, not the banner does not come out, but Brian Peppers is under heavy pressure right now. He's definitely going to be brought into the downstate. It's just a matter of time at this point. And actually, there it goes. Brian Peppers is in the downstate. Are they going to be able to get... They do get him up almost instantaneously with that banner. Great job from UB Next. A fantastic job getting that banner out and getting his teammate right back up there. So it's looking like Zeros to Heroes is pretty solid right now. I kind of expected Radioactive to come in here and do a really good job and show up this Zeros to Heroes team, but they pushed this Radioactive team right off of keep node here, and they're going to be moving to try to help out their teammates and get one of those side nodes and finish up this keep fight. Incinerate on the screen, as we can see, is in the downstate. Drunk Possum moving over to try to put some pressure onto the Necro so that he can get his teammate rezzed up, but it looks like the Necro is actually going to go for the stomp, and he might actually get it. No, he does not get it. The hammer comes out, and the pressure is going to come out from the Necro. Is he going to be able to get the res? And it does not look like he has enough. No, he does not have enough time. He didn't get that stability out early enough. I would have used that preemptively. That's probably a slight oversight on that one there. I would have tried to use that a lot earlier just to make sure that he could get it, and use that hammer stun just to make sure that he would have solidified that pickup, because that definitely would have been the difference between him getting that kill just there as well as this node, and not as we saw on the screen. However, as we can see right here, Brian Peppers as well as the Duck moving right on in here and trying to help support, take out Overpowered Necro. Tons of Condi pressure, tons of damage coming out on top of him, and he goes down right there, and Guard doesn't look like he's going to have anything to do with it. He's just leaving the node right now. He's going to back out of this. He's going to look for a different spot to come in sometime later. Now, looking at Keep, what's happening here at Keep?
Well, as we just saw in the picture-in-picture, Radioactive was able to push onto that point. The Duck is doing the best he can, and kind of in a 2v1 situation here, a 1v2 situation, doing the best he can to keep that point neutral. Here come his teammates, though. 3 other members of Zeros to Heroes are going to arrive. One member of Team Radioactive went into the downstate, but his teammates, doing what Team Radioactive likes to do, were right there for that quick res that we're commonly seeing them pull off time and time again whenever we watch them play. Trick shotting, though, close to going into the downstate, being trained right now by the Thief for Zeros to Heroes, doing the best he can to peel away there, using his gear shield to kind of mitigate as much of the damage as he can. It looks like he's safe now, but one of his teammates has gone into the downstate. Red team doing the best that they can to get some cleave off, but Lich form is going to come out as well, but there goes another member of Team Radioactive into the downstate here. Not sure if popping the Lich there was kind of the best decision, as you kind of wanted to go in for the res with your team. That's kind of what Radioactive is more known for, is getting the reses in that spot. Thought they could quickly get to that body and pick them up, but instead you're going to see Overpowered also going into the downstate. 2 members of the red team, actually 3 members of the red team, cleaving on him. He's going to be bled out shortly, and that node is going to go in favor of Zeros to Heroes. Zeros to Heroes doing a good job taking it to Team Radioactive in these team fights on mid.
Yeah, Incinerate did a great job countering that Lich form that popped out from Team Radioactive. He put up the Swirling Winds. He had to reflect up just before that. He did a great job making sure that as soon as that Lich came up, there wasn't as much pressure as there could have been once that Lich came up. That really solidified their ability to take out that Lich, take out the other members of Team Radioactive, and solidify that keep point victory there.
You know, the Warrior, too, for Radioactive kind of went down in a bad spot. He was off on the stairs as well, kind of got trained down by that Warrior for Zeros to Heroes. So, you know, good stuff coming out from Zeros to Heroes, but they've got to hold a 2-cap because they're actually still behind because they haven't been able to keep that close of a tight hold onto their mine node here. As we see in the picture-in-picture, there is a 1v1 going on there right now. That player needs to stay on the mine node and help his team get back into this fight. If he's able to do that, and Zeros to Heroes is able to, win this team fight going on at Keep, they're going to be going into a great spot here in the mid stages of this game. But as we see, one member for each team is now into the downstate. UB next for the red team. His teammates are nowhere to be found. Radioactive quickly got the res on their team member that went into the downstate, but Overpower now back into the downstate as well. Incinerate going in for some damage. At the same time, we have a Thief decapping over here on the Henge node. Fantastic stuff coming out from there, as that's going to give his team an advantage even if he does lose on the keep point. But Zeros to Heroes still taking it to Radioactive here on the keep point. Lich form is coming out. That's big damage going out onto Incinerate. But he's going to get that Swirling Winds up again. See, the Lich Form is high damaging, but it's pretty easily countable by Reflex, Swirling Winds, etc. So, as long as Zeros to Heroes is able to be looking for that and calling it with their teammates, it's going to be pretty much a non-factor, considering that they are running those focuses on their offhand weapons. So, or at least the Elementalist is. So, good stuff there, negating that damage. Unfortunately, though, for Zeros to Heroes, Radioactive is, again, the only team with a point right now. The mine got decapped once more, and Henge was not secured by Zeros to Heroes yet. So Radioactive, despite the fact that I get the feeling that they're losing more of the team fights than they're actually winning, they're still ahead just due to their rotations and their ability to do just that, get quick reses and get a stop off. There. So Radioactive doing a great job staying ahead of this game despite the heavy pressure coming from Zeros to Heroes.
Yeah, Zeros to Heroes doing a pretty good job. Unfortunately, that key fight, that Swirling Winds, is great to manage that Lich. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to help the team. He used it a little bit on the side, and that's kind of why the team had a hard time dealing with that Lich. It was just too far away from them. Overpowered Necro did a great job with his teammate there, taking out Drunk Possum on the side of that hinge point right there. They're going to be walking into this keep fight pretty good. Radioactive Guard actually in the downstate, but Crisis is right there. The Lich comes out right there, and it's going to start cleaving away on Brian Peppers, but they actually strip the stability right off of him, so he doesn't have any stability. He's going to keep cleaving on Brian Peppers because there's no pressure on top of him. But the Duck runs right on top of him. You have to remember that the Lich doesn't have any utilities when he's in this state, so it's pretty easy to take out if you get that stability down. He won't be able to heal. He won't have any protection, anything like that. No boons to get out of any bad situations. He's putting a lot of damage out, as you can see right here. UB Next is going to be the next one to go downstate here, and Zeros to Heroes kind of falling apart in this fight right now. Mid captured by Team Radioactive here, and they're going to be going out looking towards Hinge, it seems, with the decap coming out on mine pretty soon here if the team members of Radioactive can get that 1v1 down versus the Necro Brian Peppers from Zeros to Heroes.
Yeah, Ferox went down there on the point, but his teammates got over there fast enough to get that res again. Again, they're Radioactive just so good at getting reses. That's kind of what their comp is sort of built around, holding a 2-cap and getting those quick reses in team fights as quickly as possible there. And you saw them use that to good use. Now they are starting to really win these fights, especially on the hinge node there. They took that one pretty easily, even though Ferox went into the downstate. Just a simple simple rotation over by 2 other members of Team Radioactive, was able to secure that node and take out a member of Zeros to Heroes. So Zeros to Heroes going to have to rebound here, and they're trying to do that by pushing into keep once more, but 3 members of Team Radioactive are waiting for those 2 members, so it's a 2v3. Here comes that 3rd member for Zeros to Heroes. So now we have a 3v3 sort of developing here on the keep node. Brian Peppers, the Necro, going in, trying to get as much Connie out onto the members of the blue team. They were, kind of tightly packed there, so his marks were able to connect with a decent number of them. But, Radioactive doing a good job also staying on that node and not letting it get decapped. Neither team sort of gaining the upper hand here. Actually, as I said, that Incinerate goes into the downstate courtesy of that Lich form. That's going to force the other members of Zeros to Heroes to back off. They didn't even go for the res there. They sort of just abandoned the fight at that moment. So again, not a good push for the red team there. So they're going to try their luck now over here on the henge. They've already got Ferox into full respawn here. They've just got to put pressure now, but here comes another member of Team Radioactive, a 2v2 now developing on this node here. Gonna need somebody to stand on the point, and they're actually doing a great job now training Radioactive guard. If they're able to bring him into the downstate, they might have a shot at winning this 2v2, but the res comes out right again. Those 2 warriors just doing a good job supporting each other with the res utility that they bring. Again, it's going to be hard getting Team Radioactive off of a 2-cap once they've established it, because that's really what their comp is about, winning these team fights and getting quick reses off one another. This, again, just what they've been known to do on this on their strategy in pretty much every tournament that I've seen them run. So again, another member, Radioactive Guard, goes into the downstate again here on the henge point. We do have another team fight developing here on the keep, but the res again coming out so fast. These 2 warriors just doing a good job keeping each other up. As another member of Team Radioactive has come up, and here is the Lich form looking to clean house here. He is going to put Brian Peppers into the downstate, and that is game. Zeros to Heroes just not able to get a strong push in the later stages of that match. Radioactive is going to go up 1-0 in that set. It was a pretty competitive match for pretty much, I would say, 2/3 of it. And then just at the last 1/3, Zeros to Heroes just started losing team fights to this Radioactive comp. Radioactive just did what Radioactive is, like I said, known for. They just got those quick reses off as quickly as they can, especially with those 2 warriors and that res utility that they bring. So good stuff coming out from Team Radioactive to secure that win. They're going to go up 1-0 and have a shot here. If they win this next match on Legacy of the Foe Fire, they will be moving on to the semifinals, where they'll have a chance to not only move on to the finals and get a shot at money this week, but also qualify for the WTS qualifier event being held here February 7th.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to go into Legacy of the Foe Fire here. We got all the members from both teams going into the match setup. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into that real quick, see what's going on, see if anybody's making any changes. Looking at it right now, Team Radioactive is the first to kind of get in here. It doesn't look like they're going to be making any changes here. That 2 Necro setup, a lot of damage, but now they're expecting it. Zeros to Heroes knows that there's going to be 2 Liches. They know there's going to be 2 Whale Bombs they have to look out for. Do you think that they're going to be able to react to it this time and take this into a 1-1?
I'm looking for another competitive match. That's what we saw last game up until that last third. I think we're going to see both teams really grinding it out on points. That grinding style, though, does favor Team Radioactive. Going to be interesting to see how they fare in this map, as I kind of think their comp sort of lends itself well on this map, as it's pretty easy to rotate between 2 points here. But going to be, like I said, going to be interesting to see what they can do. Also, I do want to mention that ESL is looking for admins for these events. We have a very small, close-knit team that runs them, but we're always looking to add more help. So if you guys are interested in helping with these events in any capacity, please make sure you go on the ESL website, look for a chance to apply. We'll get you on the team as quickly as we possibly can, because we're always looking for more help from the community in running these events. These events are very community-run on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. So, again, any member of the community that wants to help out as an admin, by all means, contact ESL quickly. Also, we are doing a Twitter giveaway. I forgot to mention this earlier. If you go to ESL's Twitter account and just retweet something, they are giving away gems for that as well. So be sure to check out that Twitter gem giveaway as well. So we're just waiting for the players to ready up. Whenever they are ready, we will go ahead and get this match started, Hirix. Hirix, I hear congratulations in order. I hear you actually hit rank 80. I heard you got your dragon finisher in this game.
Long time coming.
That was a long time coming. I could have sworn you had it like months ago, considering all the playing with Apex you used to do.
Well, the thing was, I used to play on another account, so like I played in EU for a long time, and I was playing on another account during that time, and I came back to my other account. So I think I was like rank 50 on that account, and now I finally hit rank 80 on this one. So it's been a long time coming, but whatever, we got there.
There, I just embarrassed you in front of all of our Twitch viewers. Yeah, but
wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. That's how we roll, right? But yeah. So, but you also did a lot of GVG stuff, right? With Apex and
Apex was my first venture in NA, kind of working with the Apex PvP team that came up. But more importantly, let's get into this game. It looks like everybody's kind of getting into their dance routine. I kind of like Radioactive's dance routine that they got going on. It's like a little, got a little like boy bandish feel, I guess, to it. This is interesting. But either way, let's get both teams readied up. Let's get into this match. I want to see where this can go. Radioactive versus Zero to Heroes. Radioactive up 1-0 over Zeros to Heroes. We got that 2 Necro, 2 Resbot Warriors set up with Fearox on the NG there. Looking to score their second win over Zeros to Heroes to move on to the next round.
Yeah, and like I said, looks like some members were just not paying attention, so we're still waiting. But you're right. No, that is a well-choreographed pre-match ritual that they got going on here. It's all about the pre-match pre-buffing, right? This is a unique pre-buffing, definitely. I will give them that. And we just had a member of the blue team DC.
It's probably an inactivity. Going too hard on the dancing, probably.
Hitting the ready button would have fixed that.
Looks like two more members actually DC'd right now. So we'll be getting them back as soon as we can. Everybody else is readied up and good to go. So as soon as they get back in, they're going to ready up really quick. And they're actually saying that it's not giving them any warnings. It's just kicking them. That's interesting. But either way, we're going to get them back. There's 3 guys out for Team Radioactive. As soon as they get back in, and they're coming in right now, they'll be getting on the team, and they're going to be readying up so we can get this match underway and see how this is going to go. Is Radioactive going to take this game, Game 2, 2-0, or is Zeros to Heroes going to put this 1-1 and take us into Game 3 on Kylo?
So just wanted to update people on the bracket. It looked like the Absurd did get past Elusive in their quarterfinal match. So the Absurd, that NA representative from the World Tournament Series, they actually won the whole thing over in Beijing. Had a small roster change, replaced one of their players when they got back. But they are still rolling. They are already in the semifinals. They are going to play the actual winner of this match. So if Radioactive is able to take this game, they're going to move on and have to face the Absurd in the semifinals. Paradox, as we know, moved on. They're going to face Dodge or Die. And then we have the Absurd. They're taking on literally whatever. I do not have the results for either one of those matches yet, as they are not finished yet, and the bracket has not been updated. But the Absurd, the WTS winning team, has moved on to the semifinals, pretty much as expected, I guess people would say. That team has really been on fire. It's going to be interesting to see whatever team comes out of this, if they're able to show any cracks in that Absurd armor right now. The scene is kind of seeing a lot of dominance from that team since they took the WTS qualifier, so really since they took TOG. They've been rolling, so I'm anxious to see what they're able to actually do here. We're going to go ahead and get this started ASAP. And we actually got all members of Radioactive back in, which is fantastic. So, like I said, just waiting for Zeros to Heroes now.
Looks like we're going to get it started up pretty soon. We're just waiting on Drunk Possum here to get readied up. He's definitely here. I think we're going to go ahead and get it started. They said he's back, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. You guys have been waiting far too long here. Oh my gosh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Game is about to begin. Finally underway here for Game 2 of Zeros to Heroes versus Radioactive here on Legacy of Faux Fire. Finally, 10 seconds left until the game starts. Let's see how the teams pull out the strats here.
So I would look for Radioactive to actually go for a more, conservative push here, just sort of similar to what they did on Forest. Not really built to push far with this team comp. If they do, they're probably just going to send maybe one Warriors. That Necro is pretty slow, but it looks like the Necro is actually going to join the Warrior on a Corey push here. So the split is going to be 2-1-2 for Radioactive. Zeros to Heroes is choosing to send all of their team members to either the Graveyard or the Quarry. No far push is going to be coming out for them. That means Radioactive is going to get a free cap on their home node, and Red Team choosing to slide over to protect their close node. A quick res comes out on overpowered Necro. Just a fantastic job by the Warrior, again, doing his job, kind of serving as that res utility for his high damaging Necro, but he's not able to peel for them as overpowered is going to go into the downstate again. The Crisis is just being pushed way too hard to get over there in time. Corey is going to be full capped. Two members of Team Radioactive are on respawn, and now we're going to see these members of Zeros to Heroes that have just won over on Corey now pushing into the Graveyard node. That hasn't seen a lot of heavy pressure yet, but here they come. Let's see if Zeros to Heroes is going to be able to take this team fight quick. The Lich form comes out, but he's going to go almost right into the downstate almost immediately there. Fantastic job focusing down that Lich by Zeros to Heroes. Another Lich is going to come out, though that's overpowered as he has come back into the fight. Not putting a lot of pressure down on Brian Peppers. Brian Peppers was briefly into the downstate, but that other Power Necro was cleaved out, so that res Brian Peppers, but Brian Peppers went into the downstate again. He's been cleaved out now, so one member from each team is on respawn here. This team fight is still pretty close, but we do see UB next going into the downstate. Now Drunk Possum also goes into the downstate. This is not good for Zeros to Heroes. Team Radioactive really taking it to Zeros to Heroes, using their Power Necros to just out-damage the team there, pretty quickly bursting down their targets. Looks like Radioactive is going to take that Graveyard node. Now, a decap did come out on Waterfall, but it looks like Blue Team is going to recover that pretty quickly. So here we go, Radioactive close to getting that 2-cap that they're looking for, but overpowered goes into the downstate. Brian Peppers is going to have to pull out, though, as he's eating a lot of damage from the Engineer from Radioactive. He's going to go into the downstate again. Let's see if his teammates are going to be able to get him up. They do not have the similar res utility that Radioactive is running, though, so not looking good for Brian Peppers. Looks like he's going to be going on respawn soon, and he is. So you see overpowered just now able to train the Elementalist, kind of pushing him back towards his home node. He's going to get a peel from one of his teammates there that's going to prevent the overpowered Necro from getting in there and dealing more damage to him. But securing that 2-cap in favor of Radioactive is huge, as now they can just sort of sit there, anticipate the rotations coming out from Zeros to Heroes, and just sort of try to roll here as we get into the mid stages of this game.
Yeah, it should be noted that Drunk Possum did change to Mesmer here from Warrior, and it did do good on the opener. They did well in taking out some of the members of Radioactive, and here we can see both Necros from Team Radioactive under heavy duress here, but putting just as much onto Drunk Possum, and Drunk Possum has actually dropped into downstate as Fearox jumps all over him with the rifle there, and it looks like the Necros are going to get away just fine for a little while here, but Rip gets dropped into the downstate as well at midpoint there, as we can see in the picture-in-picture, and he's brought right back up from his teammates there. That quick resing definitely doing a great job in helping him get back up there, and Rip is looking to take out Brian Peppers. Brian Peppers just trying to get away for right now, and it looks like this fight is going to unfold, and Radioactive guard goes down, but the quick res coming out, can it be fast enough? And it's not fast enough. They get the stomp out. UB next stomps him out there, and it looks like they're going to try to find a new target. They're looking at both Necros here. They definitely want to get some pressure down on him, but the quick res comes out on the Duck, who has been dropped into the downstate, and so much cleave just gets dropped right there with the well bomb. cleaving out the Duck. UB Next is going to be dropped very shortly. There's nothing he can do with all of those Condis, all of that cleave on him, and he's dropped with a well right on top of him. There's no hope for him getting back up as Almighty Crisis stomps him right out as they move down towards Quarry. Pushing forward, they have the force that they need here to push this point. All the members of Zeros to Heroes need to find a regroup spot. They need to get together and force something here, some sort of skirmish or something. Spread out Team Radioactive, spread them thin, and try to get something going for themselves, because these team fights with the fast reses that Radioactive has, it's really just putting a hurt on Zeros to Heroes every time they get someone down. Drunk Possum now in the down state at midpoint, right next to guard here, and it looks like the back cap is going to come out from the Duck onto Waterfall. They're trying to spread Team Radioactive thin, trying to get these little skirmish fights happening, spread these Necros out a little bit so they don't have the quick res support from both warriors there on that team.
Yeah, you know what, though? Radioactive, I thought, was possibly making a mistake of just sort of overextending, but when you've got two members of the other team in the downstate and just sort of bleeding out, you can afford to do that. So they were, trying for an aggressive push on Quarry. As we see in the picture-in-picture, they've sort of backed off of that now, looking to just sort of, again, secure the midpoint, keep the waterfall as much as they can. The Duck is sort of hanging around the waterfall, trying to go in for a quick burst down on that power Necro. That Necro is going to need some support, though, as we see another, the Mesmer, also for Zeros to Heroes coming in, bursting him down with the Thief combo there. Nobody for the blue team, it seems, is rotating over to that point. I just see now a warrior coming over there, Radioactive guard. So now we see a warrior on the point finally, but it was decapped. If they are able to burst down the warrior before any other team support arrives, they might actually have a chance here of capping this node. But as we see, Quarry was decapped. The Lich just pushing out too much pressure for that member of the red team to stand on the point and keep it for his team. So honestly, this is looking very good for Radioactive. They've managed to keep the mid node pretty much secure. It was decapped shortly, but then they were able to recap it back pretty quickly. And they're sort of just rolling on these side points right now, not giving either one of them up, which is great for them. You're seeing this team really come on strong here as they're making this final push to advance into these semifinals. Remember, though, they're going to have to face the Absurd next. If the score stands as it is right now, they're moving on to the semifinals where they're going to draw the defending WTS champion. So they still have a lot to get past in this game, but looking ahead, if they're able to do so, they're going to be facing the Absurd next. So tough challenges still ahead for Radioactive. And this game is not over yet, as we see a huge team fight developing over here on the waterfall. Zeros to Heroes has also capped on the graveyard. Zeros to Heroes has also capped the waterfall, so a 2-cap now comes out in favor of Zeros to Heroes, but Brian Peppers goes into the downstate here. Rip doing his best to cleave. The banner comes out, but not in time. Rip, though, also close to going into the downstate. He popped his Death Shard to try to stay alive. He is down, though. Somebody from the blue team is going to have to try to res him. Otherwise, he's going to be put on respawn. Even Overpowered is going to come over and help him get res. He is going to be res, but two members of the blue team have gone into the downstate right now, and it looks like both of them are going to be cleaved out on mid. This is not good for Radioactive, but as we just saw, a decap did come out on the waterfall node, so that's at least good. There is no more 2-cap in favor of Zeros to Heroes.
Yeah, Zeros to Heroes doing a fantastic job on this team fight right now, just cleaving out those fast reses, putting poison down, making sure that those reses slow down a little bit. You can see all the banners that are coming out in these team fights here. There's 3 of them, as you can see in mid. Those are going to be given boons, so you have to watch out for them a little bit. Those are going to be giving might and swiftness there, so you have to watch out for them still. So Zeros to Heroes wins that mid fight there. There's going to be potentially some lingering there. Rip moves in with his Lich form there that he pops, but not a good idea in my opinion. That stability got stripped, and he's under a lot of pressure here. You can see he's got every single Condi in the game on him right now, and he's got his heal, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough, and it's not quick enough. He gets dropped right there. Not a good move in my opinion. He definitely should have tried to stay away from that. They're going to be capping the graveyard, and he's going to be on respawn there. Drunk Possum dropped into the downstate over here near Waterfall. and it looks like Radioactive is going to be able to take that, hold that node and then move out slowly and let the Duck just kind of bleed out. And they're going to be kind of catching up here. 60-point split right now. They just decapped Corey. That's going to be a 1v1 situation happening between Guard and Incinerate over here. That's going to be Dagger Focus Ellie versus Shout Warrior. So it's going to be probably a stalemate. It's going to last for a long time. The biggest thing right here is going to be this mid fight. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this mid fight, putting this Corey fight into the PIP. So let's look right here. Brian Peppers under a lot of pressure. He gets dropped into the downstate here, and it looks like they're going to get the stomp off, and they do get the stomp off. Radioactive putting tons of pressure now onto UB next. This is a 4v1 on this node right now. This is a 4v1. If they can drop in here, they can get the decap on this graveyard node, and the decap does indeed come out right now. I'm not quite sure why. It looks like it should not have come out right there, but for whatever reason it does, and they're going to get the cap on Corey right now. That's a 2-cap situation. They're covering Waterfall, and they're certainly going to cap Graveyard fairly soon. Graveyard. And it looks like
we know they're going for a Lord push. Zeros to Heroes, here it comes. Going for a Lord push. They are at 350, so they do have 3 members going for the Lord. If they get this, they're going to even it up. But members of Team Radioactive are coming back for support. This is it. If Team Zeros to Heroes is able to get the Lord, they will win this game. 460 though, 462 in favor of Team Radioactive. You've got to do it now. You've got to kill the Guild Lord now. Let's see if they're able to do it. They have, I think, the numbers. They might have it, but we're just going to have to see. A lot of team support has come out in favor of the Radioactive's Lord. One member of the red team has gone into the downstate. Is not looking good. No, it was a good try.
The Blue Lord was actually at 60% before that this game actually ended, but the 3-cap coming out for Team Radioactive allowed them to get those last couple of points that they needed to get, and it just wasn't enough DPS from Team Zeros to Heroes to get that Lord down in time. There just wasn't enough DPS at all.
It was a great shot, though.
Yeah,
it definitely was. They just needed like 1 or 2 more members of the team, and give it up to Radioactive. They reacted to that pretty fast. They really did. They got back there in a hurry and were able to defend their Lord. Moving on to the semifinals. Now they're going to face the Absurd. We're not going to stream that. The next match that we're going to show is the bottom bracket semifinal. I'm not sure what those teams are.
I don't think we have a winner quite yet. I believe we're actually going to go for a quick break while we wait for those teams to finish up. And as soon as we have a winner for the Absurd versus Literally Whatever, as well as Paradox versus Dodge or Die, we'll go ahead and get a match going.
I do have the winner for Dodge or Die. Dodge or Die did move on from Paradox. So it looks like, at the very least, we will have Dodge or Die. So we are going to take that game, the Dodge or Die, versus either the Absurd or Literally Whatever. The Absurd is going to face Radioactive in the other semifinal match. Now, remember, guys, the winners of these 2 semifinal matches don't only move on to finals today, but they also move on to the WTS qualifier being played on February 7th. So this next match that we show you is actually very important for determining what one of the teams representing North America is going to be in that WTS qualifier. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to show you Dodge or Die versus either the Absurd or Literally Whatever. When we have that match for you, we'll be back from that break in a second. So see you guys in a bit.